beautiful humans, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia and I have Stargardts disease. And today that is exactly what we're going to be talking about. Stargardts disease, what is it and how do you get it? So stay tuned. So I realize if you have been diagnosed with Stargardts disease or someone you love has been diagnosed with Stargardts disease, it can be very daunting and scary to actually learn what the diagnosis is. I know that sounds a little strange, but trust me when I say that when I was 15 and I was diagnosed, I did not want to know anything about it. All I knew is that I was losing my vision and I didn't know if I was going to go completely blind, what was going to happen to me. I was so numb. I didn't care. I didn't want to talk about it with anybody. I didn't want my parents to talk to me about it. I didn't want the doctor to talk to me about it. I just wanted everything to be over and done with. So I understand that it's really hard to get to that point where you actually want to know, okay, what is going on in my body? So if you've made it here because of that, I applaud you. I know it's rough. I know it's traumatic, but we're going to get right into it because the more you know, the better you actually feel. And the more that you can explain it to your loved ones, the better you feel, because you don't feel so alone all the time. You actually have that knowledge that you can pass on to the people that you care about so they understand you more. So that's what the purpose of this video is. We're going to get right into it. There is a lot of scientific mumbo jumbo that goes into this, so please bear with me. There was a lot of research that was put into this. It's a lot of biogenetics, which is extremely complicated in and of itself. I tried. Don't judge me too hard. I'm only a sophomore in college. I don't have a bio degree or anything like that. I will put links down below so you guys can go read more about it, but I'm just going to give you the gist of everything. And this video might be a little long, so be it. That's what it needs to be to get the point across. So, Stargardts disease, what is it? It is a form of juvenile macular degeneration. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of macular degeneration, which is what a lot of people get when they're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It's fairly common. But juvenile macular degeneration is not common whatsoever. It's very, very rare in and of itself, and Stargardts disease is actually the most common form of juvenile macular degeneration. So it's the most common rare form, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, moving on. So what juvenile macular degeneration is the deterioration of the macula, which is in your retina, very, very important part of your eye. And the macula sits in the very back of your retina, and it is in charge of detecting and processing light. And if you cannot detect and process light, you cannot see images. You need to be able to see light in order to see anything. So when that macula is compromised, when it starts to deteriorate, you start to lose that ability to detect light, causing blind spots and disorientation and things like that. So why that happens is each person has what we call an ABCA4 gene. Everybody has one. Actually, everybody has two. And we get one copy from each of our parents because each of our parents have two. So let me explain what the ABCA4 gene does first. So your eye takes in all these nutrients and proteins, and what the ABCA4 gene does is it clears away that extra junk that's left behind from your body processing what you need to process in order for your eyes to work properly or anything to work properly. So if the ABCA4 gene is broken, it cannot clear away that gunk that sits in the back of your retina, and it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, and it starts to kill it, basically, because it has all this junk collecting on top of it, and it can't clear it away. So that's what happens. Back to how you get a broken ABCA4 gene. So both of our parents, they each have 2 copies, and you only need 1 copy that works in order for your eyes to function properly. So what happens when you get Stargardts disease is that mom has 1 good copy and 1 bad copy, and dad has 1 good copy and 1 bad copy. Now when they say there is a 1 in 4 chance of you contracting the disease, they're saying that you can either get 1 good copy from mom, 1 good copy from dad, 1 good copy from mom, 1 bad copy from dad, 1 good copy from dad, 1 bad copy from mom, or 2 bad copies from each parent. And what happens is when you get 2 bad copies from each parent, you get the disease. So that's where the 1 in 4 chance comes in. It's a little hard to understand at first. I wish I had like a chart or diagram to show you guys, but I can't draw or shit, and you don't want to see that. So if I can find a diagram, I'll put it somewhere floating around my head. If I can figure out how to do that, I will. But yeah, that's what it is. It's complicated. It's hard to understand, but it's not your fault. It's not your parents' fault. It's just the luck of the draw. They didn't know that they had this broken copy of this gene, and there's nothing that you can do to fix it. So that's what Stargardts disease is. It causes blind spots in your central vision, and what your central vision is for is that 4K clarity that most people see when they look in front of them. It's responsible for pretty much, say, 80% of your vision, 70 to 80% of your vision, most of it. People with Stargardts disease, they still have peripheral vision, but a lot of people don't understand that peripheral vision is not sharp vision. It's there to detect movement. We developed this over thousands of years so we could run away from a tiger that was trying to chase us. So having peripheral vision is good. It's good to still have, but it's not clear, and a lot of people get that confused. They think if you still have peripheral vision, you can still see fairly well. That's not the case. The macula is also in charge for detecting colors. So when your macula starts to die, you have a really hard time differentiating colors. You might get brown and green confused. A lot of people become red-green colorblind, which is what I am, and I think most people with Stargardts disease are red-green colorblind. Trying to think if there's anything else that I want to share with you guys about Stargardts disease. I'm going to make a video on how I deal with Stargardts disease, how I've come to manage it. I'm going to get all into that. I just kind of wanted to give you guys the rundown of what it actually was. I don't know if I explained it the best way that I could, probably not, but it is very convoluted and difficult to explain given the genetics behind it. I actually was able to get a free genetic test from the National Federation of the Blind I would say a year and a half or 2 years ago, they were giving away grants for this. And I did get this huge DNA panel done on me, and it was really cool to see what actually was affected. I found out that I have a gene for retinitis pigmentosa, RP. I have a gene for night blindness, and a couple other things. I can't think of what they are on the top of my head, but I don't have RP. I don't really have night blindness. It just was showing me that I have one gene copy of one of those from my parents. So it was interesting to see what they have. I know my mom has a really hard time seeing at night, so maybe that gene came from her. But I did get confirmation that I do have Stargardts disease, and my ABC, A4 genes are both broken. If you can get a gene test, I would suggest that you do. It gives you a lot of clarity, and it's that confirmation that yes, this is actually what I have. We pretty much knew that I had Stargardts disease. All of my doctors were like 99% sure that that's what it was, but the gene test just gave me confirmation, and it felt really, really good. I was nervous at first to get it, but once I did, it was kind of like a weight was lifted, like, okay, here is the proof, and this is how I'm going to deal with it now. And if you can't get a gene test, that's fine. Your doctors know what they're talking about. If they say that you have Stargardts disease, you more than likely do have Stargardts disease. And my next video, we're just going to be talking about how to cope with that and the trauma that comes with it, how we can figure out how to do day-to-day tasks in a different way, how we can learn to find hope and happiness in this disease. It's not the end of the world, although it may feel like it. It's really not. And I am here for you guys. I'm here to talk. You can reach me on Instagram, Twitter, and I will be getting a P.O. box. So I will put that down into the description, and if you guys want to write to me, you absolutely can. I understand that being on your computer a lot is very harmful for your eyes, so if you guys would like to write your questions to me on just a regular old piece of paper and send it in the mail, that's perfectly fine. I'll put it under my magnifier and read them that way. I just want to make sure that you guys all have options if you would like to get a hold of me. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like and subscribe and comment and let me know what you guys want me to talk about. I really would love that feedback so I know what kind of content you guys want to see. So I hope you guys have a good day. See you later. Bye. Hello beautiful humans, welcome back to my channel. My name's Anastasia. That's Max. Well, it was Max. Made me look like a freaking liar. Jeez.